Hi everyone and welcome to Grounded 2. The boss mission of Act 1, which is all we currently have in the early access, begins with you needing to find your way to the statue. This can be achieved by entering either northern or southern statue ascent entrances, located in white plastic pipes on both sides of the statue front area. Before going in though, a quick word on loadout and prep. The battle in the end of the mission is the only proper boss fight in the game so far, and it can be reasonably challenging. Make sure to take your best weapon, armor, fully repair all your gear, and stock on healing items. My favorite weapon for this mission is a pinch whacker, but wolfbane daggers, icicles, and mantis blade all work very well too. I also highly recommend taking at least a few flesh footers, especially if you tried the boss battle already and had a problem beating its last stage. Sleep well, eat a good meal, pack another in your lunchbox, and let's go. Which of the entrances to use is completely a matter of personal preference, since both almost immediately lead to the same place. I tend to mostly use the northern one for no particular reason. Once you enter the pipe, you'll be welcomed by a pair of orc larvae. Once you deal with them, equip a gas mask, as right around the corner you'll meet your first named orc bug, Major Diesel, a buffed up stink bug who didn't have a shower for a very long time. What he's guarding is one of the Omnian doors, but it's currently locked from the other side. To the left of it is a set of dead roots though, that you can crunch through to go up. The tunnel leads you to another set of dead roots and then into a kind of a labyrinth in front of the statue. Pick up the raw science blob from the ring on the ground and go left. You can actually go right as well. Both paths ultimately lead to the same location, but the left one has more useful stuff closer to you, so there's less backtracking to collect everything. The labyrinth is full of orc creatures, and what's worse here is bombardiers providing artillery support from the level above, which makes fighting in this area an extremely annoying affair. The good news is you don't have to fight at all. You can literally rush through all the enemy forces while maintaining the same general direction until you reach an opening to your right at the end of the corridor. A bit to the right from the opening, you'll see a red hollow plastic ball with a milk molar inside. It is guarded by orc scorpions and a scorpion junior that you'll need to deal with. Now take right from the ball and follow a small path between the flower plants. It will weave a bit, but largely it just follows a green hose pipe, so that can be your pointer too. After a bit, you'll arrive to a flower bed ranger outpost, guarded by an orc scorpion. At the far end of the station is a scabies scanner that unlocks a door outside, providing you an alternative method to get into the flower bed without using the ascent path. Now, return back outside and continue your travel in the same direction, until you see a hatch structure to your right. Jump down into it, loot a whole bunch of granola bars from the shelves, and then proceed to the PTS cabin to travel to level B11. Here you can find a room with a set of flap beds, allowing you to set a respawn point, a lot of healing supplies, and a storage chest containing bandages and 2 garden snail fragments. Since these are not obtainable by harvesting yet, they are considered quite a bit of a treasure, so pick them up. There'll be quite a few more throughout the statue, so in the end you'll be able to build yourself a snail armor set if you want to. Exiting the room and following further down will lead you to another scabies scanner to unlock the door into the ascent pipes. Opposite to the scanner and through the broken wall is a mega milk molar. Now you can go back up through the PTS and to the surface. As you emerge from the hatch, you can see a large scorpion to the left. Meet Captain Nitro, who's on an important mission of guarding the entrance into the statue hatch. Further to the right along the hatch is his brother, Captain Turbo, on a similar post at the second entrance. Feel free to kill either one of them or even both. That doesn't really matter, since they don't have any unique drops or really anything special about them apart from their names. Break through the roots and follow the hedge branches inside. Take the first left to continue going up and deal with some orc spiderlings. Shortly after, you'll arrive at the statue checkpoint. Entering the checkpoint usually triggers a voice line from the stranger, mocking you and telling you about having to take a hard way to get into the network center. The door leading to the transport system terminal is locked at the moment. Make sure to pick up the collectible from the reception table, drink some water from the dispenser, and loot the area for bandages and granola bars. There's plenty of them lying around and you are very likely to need quite a few by the end of this. Granolas are the best healing item in the whole game, so make use of them. Once done here, leave the checkpoint and follow the hedge branch that goes under it. You'll see an orc red ant soldier protecting another set of dead roots. Break through them to wrap around the hedge.
What a fascinating substance.
Break through another set of dead roots to arrive into the northern rose garden. It's worth noting that instead of using this route, you can in fact parkour your way up, bypassing a lot of fighting, and there's more than one way to do it. But I feel that doing it the intended way at least once is well worth it, so here we are on the hard way. Follow the branch down to a stone with extra points if you don't fall down. I always do. Look along the red ribbon to see the Lieutenant Blade, a named orc mantis with a bad habit of tearing visitors' heads off. Once you've dealt with the blade, follow the garden further north to find two Orb Weaver juniors defending a milk mauler.
Buggy is not very well.
Now go back to the ribbon and follow it up. There'll be an orc bee right before you get back into the hedge, which you can either fight or ignore and rush past. Once the ribbon ends, turn right and follow a branch up. There's a smaller outpost right below you, but apart from the few bandages and granola bars, there's nothing of interest in it. Carry on along the branch, ignoring any splits to either side. You'll soon face an Orb Weaver, who can again be either killed or ignored. Shortly after it, as the branch goes up, you'll see an oak leaf that can be used as a bridge to go up. Follow there, and after a few jumps, you will have arrived to the network center entrance. Your buggy will not be able to follow you inside, so unload any excess inventory onto it and proceed to the ladder into the enemy stronghold. As you go up the PTS to the level 01 and arrive at the reception, go through the glass doors to your right and tube down to B4. This allows you to use Scabby to unlock the door at the security checkpoint, so if you ever need to go here again, you can skip the whole red ribbon sequence. Now go back up to 01 and proceed through either of the doors behind the reception. Collect an emergency evacuation guide tape from the floor and continue further. As you go past the security checkpoint with tons of cameras, kill the kamikaze weevils and enter the security post to the right of the entrance. It has another chest with 4 snail shells in there and a collectible file lying on the console. Now use the tube to get to the second level. As you pass the first set of glass doors, you'll see a room to your left. It has water, more beds to set up a respawn point, a collectible and a lot of healing items for you to take. Once fully restocked, continue down the corridor. A couple of rooms further, you'll see a small meeting room behind a glass. Wrap around the wall to get into it for 100 raw science and another collectible file. Go through the doors across to enter the office space and meet the workforce of the future, or controlled weevils, larvae and red ant soldiers. A table to your left has a collectible tape on it, so don't miss it. Once you made it through this room and a short corridor after it, you have cleared the level 2 and can use the PTS to go further up. On the third level, you'll immediately see the General Berserker, a named Orc Roach Queen. Berserker has quite a bit of health and can hit reasonably hard, so if you're having a bit of a problem beating it, use some of the flesh filters you brought. Just make sure to not use all of them, you'll want to have at least 2 or 3 for later. The Berserker also seems to give a guaranteed drop of a Roach Rage. A nice looking trinket that is not particularly useful, but nonetheless is worth picking for collection purposes. Once the Berserker is down, 2 bridges activate, allowing you to get up the sidewalk. Go to the glass doors and loot a dead body there to pick up the Network Center access pass that allows you to open the doors on either side of the glass door. These can be done in any order, but I usually start with the right. Another Orc Cockroach and a couple of nymphs will be waiting for you there. Kill them using any means necessary. Then pick up a collectible to your right and go through the ripped wall next to it. A short crawl and a roach nymph later, you'll arrive to a room with a weevil in it. Pick up a collectible tape under the whiteboard and activate the first switch.
Hi there, champ. This is Ms. Beaumont, your watchful
First relay
partner.
switch active.
Return back the same way you came and proceed to the adjacent room. There's another tape under a monitor in the corner, a collectible file on the office desk and the second switch that you need to turn on. There's also a few healing items sitting on the shelves in the area, so pick them up as needed and go back to the central room to get through the doors across. Again you'll be met with Orc Roach Nymphs and you can pick up a collectible on a tray table to your left. As you approach the switch, you'll find another collectible tape by the knockdown office chair, while the switch itself is disabled. Jump down through the broken glass floor and look for the sparks on blue cables below. Interacting with damaged cable applies a fix and you need to do it 3 times to make the switch operational.
What a fascinating substance.
Now flip the last switch to complete the puzzle. This enables an interact on the main console, which in turn unlocks the glass doors leading to the PTS, so you can now proceed to level 4.
Astounding. This facility is larger than I thought.
Here the door to your right is locked, so you only have one way to go.
To Ms. Beaumont's penthouse. There must be another floor upstairs.
Continue onwards to enter the data center. As you navigate your way between racks and wires, there'll be quite a few enemies, including spiderlings, larvae, red ant soldiers and weavers, but nothing you can't handle. Once you fight your way through, you'll get into a room with a storage chest for another set of snail shell fragments and a door to the monitoring station, which unfortunately has nothing in it apart from a pair of bandages. The glass door takes you to the disassembled PTS station and the ladder leading up. Go there and loot the room to your right to pick up 4 more snail shells. Then drop down into the vent through the hole in the floor. This whole area is filled with web sacks, spiderlings and smaller weavers and can be quite confusing, but if you ever get lost here, just follow the twisted pair of black and white wires and they will lead you out. Once you jump down to the PTS station, unlock the door using the scabies scanner and then use the transit system to go to the top level.
I don't even know who she is.
The big room you end up in has a scabies scanner in the middle, a water dispenser, 2 collectibles waiting for you on the left side and a chest with blueberry bandages.
If anyone finds my message, please bring this report
Using the Scabby scanner will start the boss fight, so if you feel like you need to regroup, fix your gear or anything like that, you can go back to your base and return better prepared. Since you unlocked everything on your path in, the trip back and forth will be much easier next time. At the current release of the game, this battle is your only chance to peep the masked stranger, so do it now if you want to collect her card. Surely we will meet her again in future updates, but it might be a little while till that happens. The masked stranger is armed with spicy Coaltana, which has sizzling effects on attacks, so if you feel like you need some extra protection against it, activate the fresh defense mutation before starting the fight. As soon as you take the stranger down to half health, she'll disengage and heal up, starting the second phase of the battle and gaining a new area of effect attack that cannot be blocked, so has to be dodged.
Perfect form.
The texture is unpleasant.
Once she's down to half health again, she'll flee to the upper level and call in the Bandit, an orc wolf spider. As the Bandit descends, it's also the only chance to peep it in the current release, so do it. Then immediately equip a flash filter and drop it where the spider lands. This will not only cause some serious damage, but also stun the Bandit, allowing you to severely hurt it right away. Once the stun wears out, you can either fight it normally or drop another flash filter. This will not stun lock the spider, but does a lot of damage and you can finish the fight with 3 or 4 grenades easily. If you get hit by the Bandit, use a granola bar right away and you should be able to get through the battle without significant problems. Once the Bandit is dead, you get a short cutscene and unlock the Frenzy mutation. Walk through the open door to find a bunch of goodies on the table. You get a spicy Coaltana recipe, a Sizzling Key and the Network Center Optical disc. Interact with Burgle Head on the table to complete the whole of story content for Act 1. The Optical disc you found unlocks a lot of cool stuff, including the Orb Weaver Buggy, Raw Science Scanner, Splatburst and new cooking recipes. In order to actually craft the Coaltana which recipe you found, you need 2 spicy globes, which you can now obtain using the Sizzling Key. Finding the treasure chest can be a bit confusing, but the easiest way is to start from the Pine Hill Ranger outpost. Leaving the outpost to your left, follow the edge north until you see a thick tree root with mushrooms on it. Use the mushrooms to go up the root, and as you reach the top, start going left until you see a large rock with roots over it on your right. Hop onto the rock and follow it towards the tree, then descend under the tree to see your treasure glowing under the oak leaf. Dig it up to unlock the chest and receive the 2 spicy globes you need. You can now craft the spicy Coaltana, which is the strongest two-handed sword in the game so far and is generally a good fun to use. The only thing left is to get yourself an Orb Weaver Buggy. For that you'll need a Weaver Egg, and there are 3 locations you can get one. There is a small cave under a pine tree behind the ice cream cart with 4 eggs in it. Another set of eggs is hidden under the lamppost next to the picnic table. But the easiest and generally the best location to get yourself a Weaver Egg is under the Headless Burgle. It's ideal since there is a pass-through way under Burgle, which means you can run in and out, snatching an egg without stopping and be on your way ignoring any enemies. Note that all 3 Weaver Egg areas are the spawn points or patrol paths for wolf spiders, so you may get an encounter with one during your egg trip. Back home, place an egg into the hatchery and 24 in-game hours later, you get yourself a spider buggy. It's really cool and comes super handy when navigating the web bridges, but despite being positioned as a fighter buggy, don't expect it to perform too well in combat, at least until we get an ability to upgrade our buggies much later in the game updates. And that's all I have for you about the Network Center mission. Hope this was helpful, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.